Under the Video Games Expenditure Credit, UK studios can claim back up to 25.5% net of their qualifying core costs. That's a material return on development spend, but only if you've correctly identified what counts as a core cost. Core costs are the foundation of a VGEC claim. They determine whether you're eligible in the first place, and they form the basis of every calculation. This video explains what qualifies, what doesn't, and how to handle the grey areas. In simple terms, core costs are expenditure on designing, producing, and testing your game. Those are the three qualifying phases of development. The scheme supports actual game development, not the early speculative stages before a game is agreed, and not the commercialization activities that happen after it's complete. The key concept here is the green light moment. This is the point at which your company formally decides to proceed with game development. Everything before that, like market research, pitch decks, concept artwork, is ineligible. Everything after your game reaches MVP, like marketing and distribution, is also out. Core costs also form the basis of the 10% minimum UK expenditure threshold. If less than 10% of your core costs are UK-based, you can't claim VGEC at all. When you calculate your claim, you can only claim on the lower of two figures, 80% of your total core costs or your actual UK core costs. In practice, for a studio with most of its team in the UK, the 80% cap is usually the binding constraint. You can't claim on 100% of your costs, even if your entire operation is UK-based. For studios with significant overseas expenditure, the UK figure will likely be the lower one. The initial concept design phase, including themes, setting, gameplay style, feasibility work, that's all ineligible. Design and pre-production from the green light onwards is eligible, and that includes game design documents, character design, environment design, UI design, storyboarding, things like that. Production, like the actual programming, artwork, audio, writing, that's all eligible, as is testing, quality assurance, and debugging. And commercialization, marketing, PR, distribution, exploitation rights, that's not. One nuance worth knowing, DLC and expansion packs can qualify for VGEC even after the main game is released, either under the same trade or as a new one. The facts of each case will determine which route to take. Staff are usually the largest component of any claim. Workers must be physically based in the UK. This applies regardless of nationality or where the company is incorporated. Connected party costs must be priced at arm's length and disclosed in the additional information form. Costs on rights can qualify if they're needed to actually produce the game. Speculative options or broader exploitation rights don't qualify. Because development, design, and testing often happen simultaneously, apportioning costs requires a clear methodology. Timesheets are the most defensible approach, but if you're using estimates, they need to be documented and explainable. HMRC expects a fair and reasonable basis, and if they open a compliance check, the methodology needs to stand up. Identifying your core costs is the first step, and the rest of the claim rests on it. If you're planning a VGEC claim and want to make sure you're capturing the right expenditure from the start, get in touch with Myriad's team.